What's your take on Trump and his policies?
The Republican Party got what they asked for. I think he's the Bizzaro to Obama's Superman. You get what I'm saying? Like, I think, you know, he's the antithesis of Obama. I think that's why it's going to work, because the Republican hate machine has been subtly feeding this monster of like, the Republican Party has basically told poor white people and working class white people there's somebody to blame except for us, for everything in their life. There's somebody to blame except for government, except for us. Don't blame us, you know what I mean? It's the Democrats, you know what I mean? Don't blame us that we deregulated banks. No, don't blame us. Don't blame us that we created the mortgage crisis with Republican light. You know, that was under Clinton to steal. He was trying his best to be right of center. Like, it wasn't us, you know what I'm saying? You know, you get what you asked for. You got Donald Trump. You know, Rush Limbaugh, Sean Hannity, Bill O'Reilly. Congratulations, guys. You created Godzilla. Now he's going to tear through Tokyo, burning shit down.
He has some pretty interesting views on allowing Muslims in this country.
I think it's disrespectful. And I think that America, as a Western country, should really look to the black community on this one. The black community has managed to coexist with Muslims, Christians, Hebrew Israelites, you know what I mean? I really, really think that you guys, you know, I'm not talking about politicians and they're dealing with foreign affairs. I'm talking about base Americans that are living in middle America, that are living in places where ain't nothing but white people. Get out and befriend someone who doesn't look like you. Go meet a Muslim family. Go meet a black family. Go meet an Asian family. Start to get in other cultures besides your own. You know, golfer, amateur golfer, he said he was really just a pro at a club or somewhere up in Maryland. Got hyped up online and said some crazy shit to me. So, you know, after I kind of put it up online and blasted him, you know, I hit him with just, you know what, you're judging me because honestly, you have Puritan Christian values. And you expect that everybody's world works like that. So you think based on the fact of me saying I like weed, somehow I don't like my family. This is a picture of you and your family. Doesn't mean you love your family more. It's just a stupid ass picture with you looking like an asshole with your wife and kids. I know this because my wife makes me take these stupid ass pictures where I look like an asshole to the world in front of my wife and kids. Your kids aren't going to like this picture. They're going to think it's stupid, just like I thought mine was stupid and my mom too. And after we went through that, he hit me back with just saying, man, you know, I got caught up in the election. I was sorry. I was apologized. And I didn't nail him on it, but I just reminded him because his wife actually had a beautiful tweet about tolerance and shit on there. I was like, go read your wife's tweet. It ain't just the election you got caught up in. You think your culture of white Anglo-Saxon Protestant is what everyone should apply to. You think it's for everyone. And you want it and you value it. You should do the same for other people's cultures. You should understand that that's what they think is right for them. And they want it and they value it. And you should stop listening to politicians telling you to hate a woman because she covers her hair because you don't hate a nun. I've never heard someone say, why would a nun wear that oppressive shit? She believes in God, and that's the way she shows it. But I've heard tons of people in my presence say, I don't understand how a woman would make it. Like, what are you talking about? So you have this weird-ass double standard, so the other woman is supposed to take off her faith because of that? So I think that people, especially white people in middle America, make friends with people who don't look like you. Have conversations with people who challenge you and grow from it.
Well, Louis Farrakhan made a comment about Trump, and he said, I like what I'm looking at. What's your take on that?
What's my take on that? That he likes that America is showing itself for what it is? You know, America creates the environment that gives you a Donald Trump. So there you go. You know, here you go. I like it too. There you go. Here you go. So, you know, I have no idea what the minister was saying. I think you should interview him. When are you going to interview the minister?
We were supposed to have one right around the Million Man March.
I think you should interview the minister.
Not happening. I think so too. You made some comments about black reparations.
Black reparations?
Yeah.
What about it?
Well, you want to expand on what you said?
I don't know which comments you're talking about. I agree with them. I just don't think they're possible.
So you said, the world told the Jews of Germany, we are sorry, we ignored you. They knew they were being slaughtered, they knew. But afterwards they said, we'll figure it out and we'll get you the land and help your country. We saw the horror of Hiroshima and Japan. After it was done, we gave them industry. Now look what it's become. All I'm saying is, as a black man, if you ask me for forgiveness, be prepared to give me something, or keep your forgiveness in your pocket.
That was in reference to being asked about forgiveness with the Charlotte thing. But as it leads to reparations, yeah, like I don't want. If you want to show me you're sorry, support Senator Conyers' bill, HR 40, that wants to do a study on slavery and the possibility of reparations. If you want to tell me I want to see this country be a more fair place for African American kids, and you're not African American, or you are, donate money to a historically black college or university, or shut the fuck up. That's it. That's it.
Do you think that there will ever be reparations?
It doesn't matter if I think there should be reparations. It matters that I know I deserve reparations, but I also know that the likelihood of me getting them is not very likely. So I'm going to support anything that leads to it or that could lead to it. I'm going to support John Connor's bill. I'm going to support more black kids becoming lawyers, investigating what are the real legal possibilities and potential. But what I'm not going to do is sit around and wait. I'm not going to wait, and I'm not going to expect. I am going to, little by little, chip by chip, take what is owed to me. So if I'm owed land, I will find cheap land to buy, I will buy it. If I'm owed industry, I will find a way to enter industry, and I will try to corner the market in that industry. Or I will find enemies in another industry, and I will compete with them. If you want other people out of your neighborhoods with stores, you need to support the drug dealer opening the store. You need to only go to his store, his goddamn ice cream stand. You need to only buy his water, only buy his cigarettes. And if it costs a little more, then tell him on the back end, you're going to support this kids team that we got coming up this summer out of the neighborhood. But what you can't do is sit around and wait. As I go out of the country, I watch a lot of other news. So I watch Russia Today. I watch Al Jazeera. I watch CNN Africa. And they asked an African woman, what could we do for Africa to better help you guys? You know what she said? Stop giving us stuff. Stop giving us shoes, because you giving our young people shoes makes them never want to buy them. They make them never want to make their own shoes. Allow us a fair place in the economic environment to make our own. So what she's saying is, stop coming to Africa, taking my shit, selling my shit, getting rich, and then sending charity back. Africa doesn't want charity. Africa wants industry. So as an African American, why do I want, or why should I expect you to give me anything? You don't even want to give all Americans free health care. You don't even want to give all American children, black or white, a better education. You think I expect you to give me a reparation? I deserve it. But if a country won't educate white children, if a country won't have white children healthy, what the hell am I to think they care about my black ass? So my duty is to take a play out of the Republican handbook. And what conservatives and Republicans are very good at, and I want black men to listen to me, is covering their own ass. Republican and conservative men, if they can afford a $200,000 house, they're going to buy a $100,000 house, because they're going to make sure that they have another $100,000 in savings. If they can afford one pair of Jordans, they're going to buy no pair of Jordans. They're going to buy a pair of $60 Adidas, and they're going to save the other $140. So in order for us to have the things that we rightfully want and deserve, we're going to have to adjust our thinking. We're going to have to do things differently, because if you look at a group of people who are not heavy on the run out and vote, they're very heavy on the I make motherfucking money, don't fucking play with me side. You're looking at my Asian community. The Asian community has done an incredible job of not having to pander to politics, but having their money be so locked in terms of trade and industry that they can affect public policy. So black men, if you're not going to run out and vote just because people don't give you reparations, that's fine. But you had better become so economically dominant that you can support or back a candidate to shift the needle your way. Otherwise, you're just a victim of not voting, and then a victim of an economic policy that uses you.
Do you think there should be some changes in gun control these days?
No.
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 So you think that gun laws should be exactly how they are right now?
Absolutely.
And why is that?
Why shouldn't they be?
Well, you can look at the violence committed by handguns.
Violence is at
all
a
across the world.
25-year low. There are less people dying now. My children, my youngest son has 4 pair of Air Jordans. He wears those Air Jordans on the bus. He goes to school in his Air Jordans. He goes to the boys' club in his Air Jordans. He has rare Air Jordans that I don't even have. He has a pair of Jeremy Scott Adidas. Yeah, you know how many times he's been robbed?
0 times.
Now, I literally had homeboys who had to walk around with a gun to have a pair of shoes on. To wear their starter jacket, they had to have a gun. So no, you don't, because people tell me that somehow mass shootings are happening more. If mass shootings are happening more, I would say ban white men. Because when we talk about gun laws, we tend to only be talking about gun laws in highly concentrated urban areas. How are urban areas gotten better from gun laws?
Okay, well, in highly concentrated urban areas, the guns that people have usually aren't registered guns.
I know. Now, in highly concentrated urban areas, because those guns aren't registered, there are already gun laws. How have those gun laws helped me? If I'm a working class father in Chicago, it's more difficult for me to own a firearm. Why in the world would I not want to own a firearm and I live in Chicago and I have a wife and children?
You definitely want a gun. Absolutely. I
Exactly.
mean, I have guns.
And I'm a Southerner. My grandfather told me when I was 9 years old, food doesn't come from the store. You kill food. You dress it, you store it, you eat it. You plant food, it blossoms, it grows, you cut it, you serve it, or you cook it. That's where food really comes from. I'm from a part of the country where people still do that. Why would I want to restrict my rights more? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.